Most of the time we do these videos inside just because you just can control the light a little bit better. This video is about where did I go to school and what do I remember. The first school I went to was in Tenafly, New Jersey. Maughm School, M-A-U-G-H-M, I think. And it was just right next to our house. I stayed in that school from kindergarten through the 5th grade. In the 5th grade, we moved to Demorest. During the time I was in Maughm School, that was a great playground right next to my house. So I just had a really good time there. I think I told you earlier that the neighborhood that I lived in was mostly Italian, and the Italian people were real family oriented and had a lot of things going on outside of school time. So that was fun. And then I had a place where I could do roller skating. I used to roller skate around the bicycle racks and made believe it was a roller derby, so I really liked that. It had a great slope on the side of the house. I think the school, I think it's the south side of the school, and it was really great for sleigh riding. So I just had a great time there. Great playground to have, as well as the place to roller skate and place for snow sledding. So that was great. I remember I took drums for a little while. It was too slow, and they were teaching the basics, so I stopped doing that, but they did teach that in that school. I remember that Willie Nelson, not the singer Willie Nelson, but the Ozzie and Harriet Nelsons lived in our boundaries, and I guess maybe a cousin from Dave and Ricky would be Willie Nelson, lived in the same area, and he was a hotshot. And even in the 5th grade, he was. They had money, obviously, but I was good friends with him. But then when we moved away, I don't remember any. Didn't keep ties with anybody. There was one kid I went back to try to see years later after I got out of the Army. His name was Robert Vetter, but he had passed away. I think he had some drug problems, to tell you the truth. Anyway, none of the other kids do I remember from there. Then we went to, moved to Demorest, and was in the elementary and middle school in Demorest, and then the high school was Northern Valley Regional High School, and that was in Demorest, but it covered, initially I think it covered 7 towns. So the elementary school in 6th grade I started in Demorest, and I have modest memories. I mean, I've seen the school, I know the playground, I know that I got detention a lot, and I don't remember why. And they used to give me long division to do. Well, I liked math, so long division I got really good at it, didn't mind it. But I can't remember why I had to go there. In that school, it was elementary plus middle school. It went up to 8th grade. And I remember I went to my first prom. I remember the person was Donna Pardo. Her father was a well-known announcer on TV, Don Pardo. And they were probably wealthy. She was a little uppity. The dance didn't go that well, but we were modest boyfriend-girlfriend for a little while. I have mostly fond memories from there. I think I told you I got the silent treatment one time, and it was during middle school. And I don't remember how long it lasted. Anyway, walked to school, uphill both ways, and that's literally true. Midway between my house and the school was a creek, and when you were walking to school, you went down through that low level, and then had to go back up to get to school, and then turn around going home, leave the school, and you go back down through this little kind of valley or depression, and go up to my house. So, yeah, had to go walk rain, shine, snow, and it was always uphill. So that time frame in Demarest, I remember a lot of stuff, but we're talking about schools, and I don't remember a whole bunch about that school experience. But I knew a lot of people. I had a lot of fun. I didn't concentrate too much on school, although in middle school I did well. In high school, my grades suffered quite a bit. So when I went to high school, Northern Valley Regional High School, it was Demarest, Closter, Hallworth, Norwood, Northvale, Harrington Park. Later, they built another school, and half those towns went to that school. But while I was there, it was a pretty new school, and it probably had, I'm guessing, 900 kids in it. We walked to that school. It was uphill both ways again. And I had, seems like I had a fair amount of friends, and yet I don't remember a whole lot. I remember that there was one teacher that was distributive education, I think it was a business class, and he used to come in, give us a handout, workbook kind of thing. He'd prop his feet up on the desk, and he didn't ever teach. Another guy, his name was Colin Tony. I don't remember what I had him for, but he was a tough Italian guy, and you didn't mess with him. We had a substitute teacher one time, Mr. Bump. That didn't go well for him. We had a rowdy class, and we called him Bumpity Bump. Not very nice, but sorry, that's the way it was. It was a tough class for him. I was put in Latin, of all things, Latin. This is the only time I remember my mom actually being involved with school kind of stuff. I'm sure she was, but she wanted me to be in Latin as a preparation for college. And so I was in Latin, and I did horribly, and it didn't take too long to realize I wasn't getting it, but they didn't take you out of classes, so I had to sit through it. It was very, very uncomfortable. Had an art class, I liked that. Football games, there was a big football field right behind the school. Remember going to those. And then the school was not something I was crazy interested in. I didn't do any band or core, what do you call it? Chorale, singing stuff. Didn't do any of that. No sports. Just wasn't into it. Was very big into the outdoors, and then as kids started getting cars, then we just hung around, but not doing too much school stuff, and barely got out of school. Okay, lucky I got into college, and graduated in '62, and then I went into service in August. So not too much about school, but that's some of my recollections.